What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to give you guys some high protein foods that you really need to avoid in your diet when you're looking at upping your protein intake. These are some foods that you may already be eating and incorporating already. I just want to give you some of the dangers of incorporating and consuming these type of high protein food sources on a consistent basis, and why avoiding them is going to ultimately be the best thing you can do for transforming your health, your wellness, and physique. The first type of protein sources you need to really avoid in your diet is going to be all of your processed meats. These are going to be things like your hot dogs, your sausages, bacon, all different things like that that are processed. Avoiding those meats are going to really do wonders for your health. And the reason why is because when you look at these different types of protein sources, in the way that they're preserved, it causes and builds a lot of cancer-causing substances in the preservation process of processed meats. And over time, as you continue to eat these things, you continue to consume them on a regular basis, it can really just lead to degenerating your body over time, causing and making you and putting you at a higher risk for developing a lot of common diseases and things in your body. So you really want to stay away from these type of meat sources. They're also going to be really high in sodium as well. And the more sodium levels that you have in your body, that also is going to increase your risk for disease and just overall, your body degenerating. So staying away from processed meats like that is going to be very important, not just for, you and your body and how you'll feel, but for the long-term effects of it and what it can lead to in the long term. Taking those types of protein sources out of your diet is going to be best for you. The second protein source you really want to watch and stay away from consuming on a regular basis is going to be your higher fat, non-grass-fed and non-organic cuts of meat, and especially red meat, because these types of sources of red meat, especially consumed on a regular basis, has really been linked to causing a lot of different harmful effects to your overall health and to your body. And these meats are normally higher in the unhealthy saturated fat. And too much saturated fat, of course, is a really high risk. And of course, when you eat too much saturated fat, it really increases the risk for having heart disease, cholesterol, things of that sort that will ultimately, take a wear and tear on your body over time. So staying away from these higher and fatty cuts of meat, higher fatty cuts of red meat, beef, all that stuff like that is going to be very important that you don't consume a lot of these throughout your diet, because it will definitely be something that will negatively affect your health and the longevity of the health of your body over time. The third protein source you really want to stay away from is low quality protein shakes. And I know a lot of you that are watching this video, if you're looking at upping your protein intake, I'm going to assume that you guys are probably training or doing different things like that, to help you build lean muscle, to help you transform and burn some of that excess body fat you may be holding. And I know it's common that you will use protein shakes for their effectiveness in helping you to build lean muscle, for their quick absorption rates, and just how they help to add to your overall diet and to your overall protein intake throughout the day. But low quality protein shakes will kill your health in the long term, because when I say a low quality protein shake, I mean one that's going to be filled with a lot of artificial sweeteners, a lot of different harmful ingredients to your overall health in general, as well as ones that have lower quality protein sources in it that aren't going to be as effective as others. Staying away from these kinds of protein shakes are going to be very key for your overall health. It will really affect your digestion. It will affect your overall health, as opposed to having a higher quality protein shake that's going to take out a lot of these lesser quality ingredients, that's going to not have a lot of toxic chemicals and other things in it through the processing and the formation of it, to make sure you're getting the highest quality nutrition possible from your shake. So staying away from low quality protein shakes is another thing I will highly recommend you do when you're upping your protein intake, because it will, be the best for you, and it will give you the better results in just increasing your health and your protein intake. All right, guys, those are going to be the high protein foods that I recommend you stay away from. And before we get out of here, I just want to give you guys this verse. And this verse is James 1:13, which says, "Let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one. I want to give you guys that verse because in the same way in this video we're talking about, things that we need to avoid in our diet that's going to give us the best results in transforming our physique and building our health and wellness. I believe that one of the most important things that we need to stay away from just in general in life and, especially in growing in our relationship with God and becoming the person that God made us to be is really staying away from temptation, in the same way that, maybe even going to some of these higher protein foods is going to be tempting. There's so many things in life around temptation that, when falling into it ultimately, sets, I'm not even going to say sets you back, but it ultimately, will hinder you from becoming and accomplishing the things and goals you may have set for yourself and, in growing in your relationship with God. Let me tell you something. For me personally, temptation's been one of the hardest things, in just learning how to handle, learning how to properly respond to it, because temptation is going to hit our lives in all different sorts of ways. For me, as most of you may have seen throughout my videos, how I talk deeply about, walking through my sex addiction and pornography and other things like that. One of the hardest things, but also one of the things that I found that really has helped me as I've, taken steps to really walk out of that lifestyle is lessening my avenues that's going to cause temptation and do that. And even in the word, God really says to run from temptation, and God not only want you to run from it, but God will give you the strength, the power, and the wisdom on how to keep yourself away from temptation so you don't put yourself in situations that will ultimately lead to more harm than good. That's the biggest thing, is just taking yourself out of situations that aren't going to be necessarily fruitful to anything that you're trying to do, whether it be, like me, you're trying to overcome an addiction or something like that. You're trying to grow a business, you're trying to build the right relationships and people around you to, help you to help grow your business, to help grow your life, whatever it is, learn a different skill that you're trying to do. Temptation, even to just be lazy in those things, like temptation grows so deep, and learning how to overcome temptation, I think, is so important, and we have the power to overcome it through the power that God can naturally give you. It's just building your relationship with him, learning different things, listening to some, your gut instincts that God may give you to do or not do in certain situations. All that plays important, and as you begin to grow and develop in that, you will ultimately see yourself skyrocket to the person that God made you to be. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, definitely be sure to leave a like. Definitely be sure to comment too, man. Any questions, feedbacks, concerns. We'd love to get any and all you guys' feedback. So make sure to leave all that in the comments below. Definitely be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification as well, as I'm always uploading new content every week to help you enhance your physique, your health, your wellness, and your faith through the foundations of fitness, nutrition, and a relationship with God. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that new content. Definitely be sure to check out some of my other content as well. I'll leave some links in the description to some other things I have uploaded, and also the part 2 to this video, because I will be making another video that's going to go over some high protein foods that you should intake. So I'll leave the link to that video under this as well. And again, man, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.